Yo, it's the Elohim, the Mellow Mystic, Lord Emmanuel, Chief of simonicanation, Spiker Star Seed, the wheat in the virgin's hand. And if you don't know, now you know. And we're going to get into natural law with the Indigenous and Ancestral Rights course from the Simonican Mystery School of Spiker. Bringing back the ancient mystery schools, the ancient knowledge and wisdom, where you had to be initiated because this type of knowledge wasn't for everybody. It wasn't for the average Joe. It ain't gonna resonate with the average Joe, where all they know is the programming. And you know, you can't blame them. That's all they know. But this is the time of remembrance. So a lot of people is going to start to remember their origins and their authority. And that's real. Because we not just gonna sit around and not take our rightful places or wait till somebody give us our rightful place. What kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that? Wait for somebody to give you your rightful place. If you have the knowledge, you apply it and you take your rightful place. If you have the knowledge of what you're supposed to be doing down here, you just start doing it. So we're going into module 3, Indigenous law, custom, and natural law. So module 3 grounds ancestry and lineage in law as a lived practice, not imposed statute. Students learn how indigenous law predates governments and how custom functions as lawful authority, and how natural law forms the foundation of original jurisdiction. This module establishes the lawful basis for indigenous standing. So what is indigenous law? Because we want to understand indigenous law as custom, relationship, and responsibility rather than written codes. So we're going to go into things like law as lived agreement, customary law versus statutory law, authority derived from people and land. So indigenous law existed long before constitutions, courts, or legislatures. It was not written in books, but lived through custom, kinship, ceremony, and responsibility. Law was enforced by community, memory, and consequence, not police or prisons. Customary law arises from repeated practice over time. When a people live in harmony with land and each other, law becomes self regulating. Authority flows upward from the people and land, not downward from institutions. Colonial systems replace this with statutory law, written rules enforced by threat and punishment. Understanding the distinction is critical to reclaiming indigenous standing. So now we're going to get into law, natural law, and original jurisdiction. Because we want to learn how natural law establishes original jurisdiction and inherent rights. So we're going to go into things like natural law versus man-made law, rights that exist by birth and being, and original jurisdiction before states. So natural law is the principle that life itself carries rights and responsibilities. It does not come from governments, courts, or documents. It arises from existence, consciousness, and relationship with land. Before nation states existed, people governed themselves according to natural law. This is known as original jurisdiction, authority that predates and supersedes political systems. Indigenous peoples never lost this jurisdiction. It was merely ignored or suppressed. Recognizing natural law restores clarity. No government grants indigenous rights. They exist by birth, lineage, and relationship to land. So now we're going to get into treaties, trusts, and broken agreements. Because we want to understand treaties as trust agreements and recognize their lawful implications. So we're going to go into things like treaties as nation to nation trust, fiduciary duty and breach, and survival of rights despite violation. So treaties were not gifts of land. They were trust agreements acknowledging indigenous possession and stewardship. In many cases, colonial governments acted as trustees with duties to protect land and people. When treaties were violated, governments committed breaches of trust. However, breach does not extinguish rights. Trust rights survive wrongdoing. Indigenous standing remains intact regardless of enforcement failures. So the U.S. does not have any authority over the people. The people have authority over the public servants. The public servants took an oath to serve you, the people. Not the U.S. citizens, but we the people in our private capacity. We the people. U.S. citizens have no rights. U.S. citizens, corporations have no rights. They are under statutes and codes. It's a legal fiction world. It's a world of legal fictions. It's a fictitious world that everybody is participating in through consent. And they do not have to. You do not have to agree to the terms and conditions. This is the bottom line. The bottom line when it comes to your authority, your spiritual authority, your power. That's the bottom line. Do you agree to this shit and do you consent to it, or do you remove your consent? Do you not agree to the terms and conditions? But you do. And you don't have to. Because your authority lies within you. Understanding treaties through trust law reframes history and restores lawful clarity to ancestral claims. So we'll go into module 4 in the next video: land, territory, and ancestral stewardship. But the Indigenous and Ancestral Rights course, this information is available at simonicanation.org. All the courses are $33 and all the guidebooks are $5. I'm also going to after this course, I'm going to drop the information on how to create your own micronation. I mean, all this information is out there somewhere, so you can get it from anywhere. But if you get it from here, you get it from here.